Guys, Greg here. Welcome to the Vinyl Rundown channel. Got a bunch of records to show you today. Presents I bought for my wife, stuff from the Goodwill, stuff I ordered online. Did I mention thrift shops? And some other surprises. So let's just get into it. Stuff I've been buying. Today I was at a record shop. Found myself out in Ventura, California. Taking a relative to the hospital. Ended up at Grady's Record Refuge. Great store, so well curated. Couple things I got there. As soon as I saw this label, International Anthem, my first record with them. Relatively new jazz label, but very kind of out there. Some of the stuff is spiritual and spacey and avant-garde, and I hear Winchester Davis talking about this a lot, but this particular record, it was in a used bin for only $10. You can't never find their stuff for $10. Rob Mazurek and Emmett Kelly, Alien Flower Sutra, really cool cover, really cool art. International Anthem is has these cool inner sleeves with this cool geometric design on it. This is a really out there record, and it's got a lot of vocals on it. And it's hard to describe. First track, like super lo-fi, like this weird compression and distortion. I literally had to check my turntable and see if my needle was messed up. I've listened to side one. It's interesting. It's different. It's out there. That's all I can say. Let's move on. Or got this Blue Note. Did I show this yet? I don't think I did. Charles Lloyd. New. I don't even know what I have. New quartet passing through. The Charles Lloyd Quartet. The great sax player and flute player. And Jason Moran plays on here. Other people I don't know that well. There's this certain mellowness and calmness to his music. It's hard to explain. It's not like virtuosic blowing jazz. It's like I'm chilling, I'm mellow. But it's cool stuff. Okay, my very first Blue Note from the Classic series. And I consider this one of the top 5 Blue Note albums of all time. This is, I have this on CD, and I have a 75th series, which is not that great. So this is the all analog 80th series classic vinyl. Just got this from Acoustic Sounds. I think I may do an in-depth review on this record, comparing this pressing and the old pressing, but very happy to have this, one of my favorite all-time Blue Notes. Now I got some miscellaneous weird stuff to show. Let's see. Jeff Tweedy's new one from Wilco. Limited edition white vinyl, and the name Love Is the King is embossed in this weird perforation. Can you see the perforations? Probably not. It's kind of hard to see. Trust me, here it says Love Is the King. And this is unopened. Wife just got this for her birthday. And along with that came a single. What's the single? Susquehanna River, I'd Rather Be Alone, Jeff Tweedy. She also, lucky lady, got this for her birthday. The Strokes' new one. Angles, is it their newest? Well, I bought it. It might be a couple years old. She likes the Strokes. Saw it at the store. There's that sound. You recognize the sound. Got this for her birthday too. Elephant Stone, Ship of Fools. Their releases are only on cassette. How's the focus there? Yeah, there we go. Elephant Stone, Ship of Fools. Really cool cover art. This stuff only came out on cassette. And it's got cool red. You know how they have red vinyl? Well, they have red cassettes too. How's the lighting here? That's too bright. Red cassette. And another one from Elephant Stone. Cool red. So this is an indie band, and they sound a little bit like psychedelic version of the Beatles, like Strawberry Fields and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. At least a couple tracks that we've heard so far. It's on cassette. only, and we had to make some adjustments to the sound system to be able to hear them. I will get into that in a bit. Let's see. Goodwill Run. It's not a record, it's a book. Holga. Do you guys know the Holga photography thing? I have the Holga camera. I used to use it, and I used to be very into experimental photography, so there's some really cool stuff in here. Examples of the Holga is this like Chinese piece of junk camera with severe vignetting and light leaks, and the camera doesn't focus well, and the artsy folks took it up big time. Do double exposures. It's fully manual. I don't even think it focuses. You just aim and shoot, and you know, you can load weird camera. You can film, cross processing. It's a 120 medium format film, but if you put in 35mm. Anyway, it reignited my interest in this whole analog retro, lo-fi, you know, vinyl LPs or analog cassettes, film camera. I've been totally kind of reinvigorated in that whole mindset since I got this book. I've got the Holga camera in the garage somewhere, but it was a real big deal in the, when was it big? 90s? 2000s? I've done black and white on the Holga, and I guess I've done color, what's it called? C41? The small format, 35mm. Okay, let's get back to records, but I did find that at the Goodwill. Records. This is a weird record. I bet most of you have never seen it or heard of it. MJQ is the Modern Jazz Quartet. And how modern are they if they've been playing since, you know, traditional jazz in the 50s and 60s? Well, this came out in the 70s. And it's on Apple, not the computer, but that other Apple. You remember those guys. How is there a jazz record on Apple Records? Is anybody familiar with that? Let me know. Is there other releases that they've done? Modern Jazz Quartet with Milt Jackson and John Lewis and Percy Heath. Milt Jackson's vibes kind of defines the sound of the Modern Jazz Quartet. But I got into this whole space jazz, spiritual jazz, two or three records along that line I've got to show you. But so I listened to this online, and I thought, wow, that's really spacey and weird, cool. A song called Visitor from Mars. Alright, I listened to a couple seconds on YouTube, bought it, got a good deal on it. This is a beat up copy. I'm a little disappointed. It's not VG, it's got some scratches and it's messy and scuffed up, and most of it's listenable. There might be one song that's too scratched. I think the guy did not do a good job grading it. I may hassle him a little bit online, but you know, it was like $12, so what's the big deal? But really only one or two songs have that sort of space vibe. The rest of it is fairly straight ahead stuff. There's a version of Adagio from Concerto De Aranuez. You jazz freaks know what that is. That was the piece that Miles Davis used for Sketches of Spain. And here's That Rainy Day, which is an old standard, not at all spacey. Cool spacey cover. But that record goes a little bit with sort of this out there jazz vibe from the 70s. Herbie Hancock, Sextant. What a cool cover. And what's the name of this artist? He's done other great covers. Absolutely fantastic artwork. I don't think it's the same guy who did Bitches Brew, though. I think it's a different dude. But look at that cover. And this was in the period where Herbie was using his, what is it, African name? Mwandishi? I don't know the story behind that. I'll have to look that up. But very synth heavy, very funky, very out there. A lot of cool synth sounds. A lot of the credits are dedicated to synth programming. Herbie plays Fender Rhodes, Fender Fuzzwa, Echoplex, Clavinet, Daca di Bello, Mellotron. I don't know what some of that stuff even means, but I saw somebody on the vinyl community talking about this record, and I went out and found a good copy for like $15. So, as always, thank you, vinyl community people, for turning me on to new music. And my buddy Herbie, as I call him, because I talked to him for 30 seconds once. Let's see, at Grady's today, they got so much weird stuff there. They've got all these like weird curated sections, you know, exotica and lounge, but like other versions. I can't explain it. You know, wacky covers, wacky spoken word stuff. I didn't get most. I didn't get much of this stuff. Okay, they got a great dollar section, and for $1. Okay, why did I get this? Everybody knows the Hawaii Five-0 theme song, but I've been getting into watching these old 70s shows, especially the cop and detective shows, that have this great theme music, like Columbo. The guy who wrote the Columbo stuff, some of his stuff is on record, but it's really rare and really expensive. So when I saw something else, 70s TV cop, I'm like, I'm going to get some more of that and see if it sounds similar. So I don't know Morton Stevens, I'll have to look him up, but that's who wrote some of this stuff. But in addition to the theme song that everybody knows, there's a bunch of stuff. Call to Danger, The Floater, hate when that happens. And on the same theme of TV stuff, they had a whole soundtrack section, and at the very end was just television, not movie. So that's where I grabbed this from. Man from U.N.C.L.E. You guys remember Robert Vaughn and David McCallum. I got 2 of David McCallum's solo albums. But Hugo Montenegro, awesome movie guy, did the soundtrack to this. So haven't listened to it yet, but I hope it's got that 70s orchestral, funky vibe on RCA Victor. And yeah, it's an alluring photo, as you would expect from Spies. Okay, also going through their jazz section, Mazzy showed this record recently because Chick Corea passed away. And I have very little Chick Corea in my collection, even though I'm a major jazz freak. Very little Chick Corea. I found both of these, $3 and $4. The cover is stained on one of them, but the records are in good shape. Chick Corea, jazz master keyboard piano player, who just died. And I think I was lucky to find those. Last week's trash pick, D-Link camera. I hooked it up to a power supply, and I think I burnt it up because it smelled like burning. So maybe I'll take it apart and do something with the lens. But the stuff my neighbors throw away, you could outfit a third world country in electronics and clothes and furniture. What else is I going to show you? What's in the bag? Nice big bag. Nice little bag. Who can read Chinese? I don't even know if it's upside down. The answer to all your cassette problems. The belts. I got all these cassette players that don't work because the belts go bad. And one time I went and found the custom belt, and it's, you know, $16 for a rubber band. The thing to do is just buy a big pack, a variety pack of belts on eBay. This is like $8.99 for 35 belts, every size imaginable. Hopefully the size I need is in there, but it'll be close enough, you know. You're off by a couple millimeters. What do you need a belt for? Don't move. Goodwill run. I got those cassettes for my wife, and the cassette player that I wanted to play them on, the belt was bad. I bought the belts, but as long as I was at the Goodwill, holy, what the heck is that, Greg? And what is going on top of it? That's how the Goodwill package did. This is the JVC blah 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 model number auto reverse cassette deck. Cassettes over here, cassettes over there. The play side has pitch control, which is really cool, and the record side has what does the record side have? It has microphone input and line level input. It's auto reverse. You can record from A to B. You can mix microphone and source input in together, and it works. How do you know it works, Greg? Well, when I went to the Goodwill, I made sure I had my handy Rod McEwen cassette in my pocket, and I was hoping I would find a cassette player. Bring your own cassette, because they're not going to have a cassette at the Goodwill. And it looked like it played okay, but then when I got it home it was a little slow. After playing it and warming it up for a little while, it's fine. Could need some lubrication, could need some a belt. I have all the belts you could need. I tested it. It's working all right now. But what's up with the Goodwill? They just taped all this crap to the top of it and said, yeah, it's a package deal. Well, there's your JVC remote control. It has nothing to do with this. Some poor guy's going to buy a TV or a DVD player that has no remote control. Okay, 2 pairs of gold-plated RCA interconnects. That's cool. That's worth a couple bucks. This is a coaxial cable with an F connector, which is for hooking up like a satellite dish or cable TV. Has nothing to do with this at all. Here's the power cord for a DVD player, but this thing has its own built-in power cord. And there's actually 3 of these mini plugs. 3 of them. Mono. Weird, but I can use them for my little synthesizers and stuff. So, a cornucopia of goodies taped onto the top of a cassette player. I don't know what that's about, but it's cool. I took advantage of it. And that's what I do with my time, guys. I buy a lot of junk and CDs and records and cassettes and books, and sometimes I fix this stuff, and sometimes I make it work, and sometimes I actually have time to listen to records occasionally. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, anybody who has a channel in the vinyl community on YouTube, I will subscribe to you. Oh, that reminds me. And I will subscribe to you on other media. Look for the Vinyl Rundown on Twitter and Instagram, even TikTok, even Twitch. I don't know what to do with Twitch. I have an account. And I'm now on, what's the one called? Clubhouse. And I may have an extra invite if anybody wants to get on Clubhouse. And there's really no talk on about vinyl on Clubhouse, but it's the newest thing. What do you do with all your time, Greg? Well, I have a real job, but I squeeze in time for all these other hobbies. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you soon.